Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. We are already a third of the way through this final season on NASCAR Heat 5 as we roll into Mid-Ohio Motorsports Complex here for tonight's road course edition of the Career Mode. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we are going to get on into this one, still inching closer to 1,000 subscribers. Thanks for those of you that have subscribed over the last few days. We've had a few new subscribers to the channel. So looking for this. Going into round 2 of session qualifying, I did qualify round 1 before the NASCAR Fantasy Podcast. We were at the top of the charts. We'll see if Keegan Schneider can get his third career pole here in this second round. It's the first trip for the NASCAR Cup Series to Mid-Ohio in my home state, nonetheless, for this career mode as well. So a chance to win in my home state. Was not able to win here in the Xfinity Series. So we'll see if we can win here in the Cup Series. Welcome everybody who is waiting in the chat before the start of this race as well. Trevor Grimes, Cars One Boy, Jackson Thomas, DB Forever 85, Patrick Shadley was in there. I think Tyler Burbeck might have been in there as well. Maybe Kyle Larson fan. If I'm missing any of you guys, sorry. There are a lot of you guys waiting here for the start of this one today. Everybody's getting amped up. Back-to-back road course races on the schedule. Just raced Canadian Tire Motorsports Park last night, where Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got his first win of the season. JTG Doherty Racing finished 1-2. Schneider rallied with a wrecked race car to finish 5th. A lot of drama late in that one, that is for sure. We ended up having 2 cautions per incident in that race, with that last caution coming out very, very late in the race. Thought we were going to have a new race record this season for the least amount of cautions in a race, but that caution that came out with just 7 laps to go set up a restart with 4 laps left. Ashley G, welcome as well. Schneider trying to win in his home state. 2 hours north of Mid-Ohio Motorsports Park is where I live. And with this being the inaugural Cup Series race here, why not try to get the win in the home state? First lap was the warm-up lap after coming off the pit lane. This lap will count. A little hot into turn 2. Locking the tires up. Wasn't bad, though. Kept it on the racetrack. Schneider was the first one off the pit lane, so he will be the first driver to make a lap that will actually count. I know Ty Dillon's on the board, but that's because he was on pit road at the back of pit lane. 121.155 for Keegan Schneider on his first lap, and he already had to check up in turn 1 with Truex coming out of pit road. Truex running right in front of Schneider right now, so Schneider's going to pit this lap. Truex is going to cost him time into turn 2. Ryan Newman to the top of the charts with a 120.971. Schneider's still going to pit this lap. Had to get around Truex, took him a couple corners to do so. Pit road speed limit will be 40 miles an hour for this race here this evening. Schneider's Picker was not on their best game in the race yesterday, but Schneider did damage the car, obviously, so that definitely did not help his pit crew when they had to make some green flag stops. Gonna need to have a better job of keeping control of that race car here in this one. And really, he was keeping good control of the race car until the tires got old, so he's gonna have to manage that a little bit better in this one. Maybe not try to push it quite as far, risking those tires. Ryan Newman who won Stage 2 last night at Canadian Tire, though, is at the top of the charts. In this one, he won it on pit strategy. Already only 4.5 minutes ago. This lap is not going to count for Schneider. So for him to get the clean sweep and win both rounds in session qualifying, he's going to have to pick up the pace. He's a little less than 0.2 of a second off of Ryan Newman right now to get that quick time to start on the pole. He's got Ricky Stenhouse, who's third quickest right now, not that far in front of him. Definitely closing in on Stenhouse. He's going to have to get around him quick, assuming he catches him as well. Big bounce off the curb for the 99 in turn 1. Barely keeps it on the racetrack, keeping it on the curbing. Right off the exit of the corner. Black Ace, welcome to the stream. Dirty air right in line behind Stenhouse is not helping the 99. He hasn't really been close enough to pass in this lap, though, either. Definitely closed the ground on the 47. Oh, that's going to cost him big time in this final corner. Contact with Stenhouse. It was really tight. And that might have costed Schneider a chance at the pole because he had a really good lap going. And it's going to cost him on this lap, too. He's still side by side with Stenhouse all the way through turn 1. He's going to have the advantage into turn 2 into the braking zone. Runs it on in there and gets around Stenhouse. Problem is that last lap got costed in the final corner with the contact with the 47. And this lap isn't going to be too good because he was side by side with them all the way through turn 1, had to beat him into 2. And now, I have to get that pace going back in the right direction again, and hopefully he doesn't catch another car. Ryan Blaney, meanwhile, has jumped up to 4th. Almirola 5th on the leaderboard. Almirola's finished in the top 4 in each of the 3 road course races so far this season. The only driver that has done that in the first 3 road course races this season.
That was a great lap.
121.095. He actually did pick the time up that last lap despite being side by side all the way through turn 1. with Stenhouse, which is actually pretty surprising because he was on the outside as well in that corner. But it still was not quick enough to get to Ryan Newman's pole lap currently. And this may be the last lap for Schneider. I don't know if anybody remembers what that scheme is. I'll have to see what scheme you're talking about once I get through qualifying. I missed your message before that. Snyder's hoping he can get back to the start-finish line to start another lap, but I don't think he's going to be able to. I think this is going to be it. And Stenhouse started this lap as well before the time expired, so both these guys have a shot at the pole here. Hard on the brakes into this finishing corner. Back to the start-finish line. 120.717 pole time. Right at the end of the clock on Ryan Newman. By 0.2 of a second, Schneider nabs the pole on the final lap of qualifying. As the clocks hit 0, 2 turns before he got to that start-finish line, it was going to be his last lap, and he had a near-perfect lap. Good enough to get the pole. Third career pole and the third pole this season, all on road courses for Keegan Schneider. Montoya's big red Havoline Dodge. Yeah, it was a pretty good paint scheme. I like this Target cars a little bit better, but this Target paint schemes always look good. Especially on the 42 car. Even the Reed Sorensen 41 cars had good Target schemes. Casey Mears. Joey Gase, Quinn Houff are going to be starting at the rear. Those are the only drivers that dropped to the back for the start, so Schneider will sweep session qualifying, but it wasn't easy in that second session. Newman definitely picked up the pace from where he was in round 1 and almost nabbed the pole. The 120.717 was the pole time for Schneider. Green flag is in the air. He got the pole in his home state. Now can he get the win in his home state at Mid-Ohio? Leads the field into turn 1. Newman quickly just kind of pulls on in line behind him, trying to draft off the 99 down the long straightaway into turn 2. They'll have an even longer straightaway into turn 3 at the end of the next lap. Schneider had a big bounce off the curb, barely stays in front of the 6, and beat him back to the gas. Got 22 laps in stage 1 tonight. These guys will have to pit at some point in this first stage as well. Unless we get a yellow, we might be able to see some guys make it. We'll wait and see. Schneider definitely pushing hard on this opening lap. Proving himself as a road course king early on the season with 2 wins and 3 top 5s in the first 3 road course races. Already a 4th road course race in just the 12th race of the season. This is an 85-lap event here tonight at Mid-Ohio. 5 laps longer than yesterday's race at Canadian Tire. Lap times are about 3 to 5 seconds slower here, not too much slower than Canadian Tire. So overall, it's still going to be a pretty short race. A tad bit longer than last night, but last night's race, I think, ended up at like an hour and 51 or 52 minutes. This one might be about 2 hours. I had to assume it'd probably be about that 2 to 2 hour, 10-minute mark. Still going to be a pretty short one, though. A lot of strategy in last night's race. I'm sure it's going to come down to that kind of similar strategy here tonight, with it only being 5 laps longer as well. speeds are a lot slower, though, at Mid-Ohio overall, so they could go a few extra laps on fuel. Last night at Canadian Tire, they could go 18 laps on fuel, but here at Mid-Ohio, it's about 22 laps.
20 laps to go.
JJ, welcome to the stream. Schneider only got the pole by 0.2 of a second on Ryan Newman, but boy, he is setting a very, very quick pace early on. We'll be able to see, obviously, into the longer run if he could be able to keep this pace up. Only on lap 4. So far, a really strong start for the 99 Channel Racing team once again. Hopefully been driving it in super deep into turn 2. Top 5 for everybody who was in the top 5 in qualifying in that same order as well. Schneider leads, Newman in second, Stenhouse third, Blaney fourth, and Almirola fifth. I feel like the top 6 cars last night at Canadian Tire were so equal with one another. It doesn't seem to be the case here today, but who knows? We'll see. Upshifted a little early, ended up having to downshift and get back on the brakes again just to keep the car on the track. Probably the best he's gotten into turn 2 though so far, probably because he was carrying a little bit less speed. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. At the start-finish line this time. 17 to go in stage 1, already to lap number 6. Caution-free early on. Definitely got a lot of shifting going on right now. It takes great concentration on these road courses. Mid-Ohio is definitely a really challenging one. It's weird because in Northwest Ohio, there's not a lot of elevation changes up here, but for some reason down in this Columbus area, there's a lot of elevation changes specifically around this racetrack as you get closer to the Appalachian Mountains. And there's definitely quite a bit of elevation changes on this racetrack, which you wouldn't necessarily think about if you lived where I do in Northwest Ohio, and it only being about 2 hours south. Schneider obviously trying to win at his home track here tonight on the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. He did not win here in either one of his 2 Xfinity Series starts on the career mode, but maybe he can get a Cup win here in the inaugural Cup Series race at Mid-Ohio. Nervous about the new game, Daytona 500 demo. I think the sunset makes the graphics too dark. It definitely kind of seemed, I kind of felt like that too. I don't think it'll be that bad though, honestly. I don't think it's that bad with the graphics for the Daytona Dark. And I think that's just the end of the race, more towards the sunset of it. Because from what I've heard, there's likely going to be day to night transitions. So that is the case. Then most of that race is going to be in the daytime anyway. Versus like the night race won't be in the sunset, it'll be the actual nighttime. Got problems on the racetrack already as William Byron's very slow, and I don't know if that's a tire that has gone down on the 24 car or an engine failure. Schneider races past him into that corner. Had enough of a straightaway to get around him. So William Byron going to make his way to pit road. He is the first driver with any sort of issues and is already a lap down before making it onto pit road. 14 laps to go now in stage 1. Trey, welcome to the stream. I hope the All-Star Race and the Busch Clash are going to be on the game. And the Daytona Duels. I hope. They need to be. The last 5 NASCAR games have not had the Daytona Duels, the All-Star Race, or the Bud Shootout / Sprint Unlimited / Busch Clash, whatever you want to call it. The preseason race at Daytona. Now on the Daytona road course. They need to have it. Especially for the crew mode. That'd be a big incentive. I mean, that's $1 million bonus you could have with the career mode. Schneider trying to get around Bubba Wallace in the 43 car. First lap car he was caught that didn't have an issue. Byron was up in heavy smoke, so he was easily able to get around the 24 car without a fight. He caught him in a really good spot. Past halfway through the tire run. As usual, when the tires get below 30% on these road courses, the car is going to be sliding around quite a bit. But for right now, though, Schneider's race car is hooked up. He is definitely going in the right direction. Definitely dealing with a lot more lap traffic. Slides the tires in to get past Chad Fincham into the braking zone there. Now he's stuck behind Joey Gase. Still just kind of sitting behind Gase, being a little patient. Really just trying to pick his spots to get around these lap cars That's what he did with Bubba Wallace. That's what he did with Joey Gase there. He's able to catch two of those lap cars down the longest straightaway of the racetrack. He got off turn 2 really well. Beat them easily into 3. And now a caution is going to fly. Very interesting. And this is going to split the strategy with the field. Our first caution of the race today has flown on lap number 10. We're going to have 4 laps of caution. And some of these drivers are going to stay out and try to make it on fuel to the end of the stage. And some drivers are going to pit for board tires and make sure they're going to make it on fuel to the end of the stage. This is going to be very, very interesting. Schneider's going to pit. At least the top 6 cars are going to hit pit road. A lot of drivers outside of that. Remember, there are a lot of drivers in the lead lap. Joey Gase in 36 will get the free pass. The top 15 cars stay out. They're going to try to make it on fuel to the end of stage 1. They'll get the track position. Everybody else outside the top 15 on old tires. Green flag back in the air. And look at Schneider trying to nail the restart already. Going 3 wide to the outside. Not a lot of room to go 3 wide, especially up high. And look at the move on the bottom up there as well. I believe that was Christopher Bell, who went 3 wide into 1 underneath Custer and Jimmy Johnson. Schneider found a hole on the inside lane into turn 2. Cleanly has worked his way up to at least 8th. Underneath Boyer, 3 wide under Busch and Truex, who are side-drafting each other. Schneider gets the run on the fresh tires and is already back inside the top 5. 11 spots gained on the restart. Was that enough? He had to restart on the outside into 1, went 3 wide anyway. And boy, these fresher tires are prevailing. He's only got 10 lap fresher tires, but that is a huge difference on a road course. But as they start to string out a little bit after the restart, it's going to start to hurt him. Schneider's closed the gap on Ty Dillon. He just can't get around him right now. That's why it was key for him to pass as many cars as he did. Logano leads the field. He had a very strong car at Canadian Tire as well. Ty Dillon's had strong cars on road courses this year, a couple of them at least. Had a top 3 at the Indy road course. Ran well at Sonoma earlier in the season as well. Schneider dive bombs down to the inside into turn 1. Couldn't get around Dillon there. Gonna try to outbrake him into 2 to the outside. That's gonna be tough. Gonna be really tough, but what a pass on the outside in turn 2 for Schneider. He would not have been able to do that without fresher tires, I can guarantee it. Wheel hopped it a little bit into 3. Not bad. His car on the racetrack. Kyle Busch sliding all around as he's still trying to work on the 11 of Hamlin. Hamlin also had a really good top 5 to 6 car last night at Canadian Tire, and he's looking for a shot to take the lead early from Logano. Passing the leader is going to be harder than trying to pass anybody else on this racetrack. Kyle Busch inside of Hamlin for second, side by side. Might allow Logano to get to the lead, or pull away with the lead, rather. And look at Hamlin having to get out of the gas. That costed him another spot. Schneider to third. Schneider dive bombs Kyle Busch into turn 1 for second. Busch gets the drive off. Schneider trying to block the 11 now after that failed attempt, trying to get around Busch into turn 1. Into turn 2. Schneider coming in hot, hugging the curbing. Can't really get around Busch that time. And now we'll try to draft off of him. Maybe he can try to send it into turn 3 and make a pass there. Into turn 3, Busch drove it in just as deep as Schneider. Fended him off. More the 18, the 99, the 11 battle. It's going to allow Logano to get out a little bit further ahead. Schneider's passed every car so far pretty cleanly. Trying to do the same with Kyle Busch. Busch gonna crowd him a little bit. Kyle hangs on to the position again. Kyle had a big wheel spin that time. I mean, this is out of technicality a career mode still, and the only reason I call it the career mode, even though it's a custom schedule, is because the game crashed on me, and I tried to simulate back to where it was in the career mode, which would have been to the Charlotte Roval last season, and every single time I got back to it, it kept crashing on me. I tried 3 times. I would have had to reset the career mode, and I didn't want to reset it because then our car wouldn't have been nearly maxed out like it was, which after winning the 500 this year, we likely would have had a 100 overall car anyway. So, which is pretty much equivalent to if you were to race, you know, on any other game mode offline with any car. So, I figured I'd go custom car and continue the career mode that way. So, out of technicality, yes, it is the career mode still, but, or out of technicality, it's not the career mode, but it is career mode because the career mode was crashing. I could not get back to it. I simulated 3 times, and it took over 2.5 hours worth of simulating back to it, and I wasn't going to simulate again. I said, no, that's enough. I wasted too much time just trying to sim backwards to keep crashing on me. It's done with it. Schneider has failed to try and pass Kyle Busch, and Kyle is slowly closing back in on Logano again. Now 5 laps to go in the stage. Just so hard to pass here at Mid-Ohio. Kyle Busch drives it really deep into turn 2, and it's where he keeps pulling Schneider, and Schneider's not able to get a big enough draft off of 2 into 3. And then Joey Logano can't quite drive it in as deep into turn 3 as well as Kyle Busch. They're sliding around, but he actually had a really good set of corners there, and he's all over Busch again. Busch with a little wheel hop, trying to get back to the gas that time. Great race so far. Oh, Schneider, big wheel hop off the curb that time. Car almost spun out on him. 4 to go in stage 1. Being very patient with Kyle Busch, but at some point he's going to have to try to dive it in on him, and that slip up now has allowed Hamlin to close back in on Schneider again. Really good in turn 2 for the 99. He still has about 10 lap pressure tires. Schneider getting a good run in the draft on Busch. Pulls out of line to try and make a pass, but Kyle defends it with a block. Schneider had a big run on him too. Oh, giant bounce off the curb. Saw some sparks flying as the car bottomed out that time. Curbs are so violent with these big, heavy stock cars. See it all the time on road courses. Kyle trying to put the pressure back on Logano. Can he get around him? He's underneath, side by side for the lead. That could be capitalizing position. Schneider goes 3 wide to the outside. What a move by the 99. 3 wide on the outside off of the final corner to the start-finish line to take the lead. An aggressive block on Logano. Push back to the inside for second place, and here comes Hamlin again. What a move. They were occupied in those final couple corners when Busch got underneath Logano, and now that Logano's lost the clean air, he's falling all the way back to 4th. And the driver with pressured tires has the clean air and has finally got back to the lead with 3 laps to go in stage 1. And Busch rams it in on him. Kyle Busch puts the bumper to the 99 into turn 3, trying to move him out of the way but couldn't do it. Schneider raced him clean straight off that whole time. He made a very, very nice maneuver 3 wide cleanly at that. Again, just for Busch to try and put the bumper on him into 3. And it didn't work.
I need 2 more solid laps, bud. Keep it
2
going.
laps to go in stage 1. Logano got around Busch and Hamlin that last lap. Hamlin back to 5th. I think he's got a problem. Or Kyle Busch has a problem. Oh, those guys might be out of fuel. I think they made their way to pit road before it closed. Before Schneider got to the start-finish line. I would assume Hamlin and Busch were able to make it in time. So they were not able to make it on fuel. They pitted right before pit road closed. But now that pit road's closed, nobody else can pit further back. Remember, the top 15 cars stayed out. Some of them are going to have to stretch it. If not, they're going to have to restart at the rear of the field anyway. But now guys like Kyle Busch and Logano can get that track position back. They figured that playoff point is lost. Hamlin, Logano's still out there. He's going to get stage points still. I should say Hamlin and Kyle Busch have stayed out. I thought there was a problem there for a second, but actually Hamlin and Kyle Busch were in the pits. Cycling Ryan Newman back inside the top 5 again, as well as Ricky Stenhouse. Final lap of stage 1. Go back to the normal camera. To be the 15th stage win for Keegan Schneider this season. Darius Marine, welcome to the stream. The lead is almost 6 seconds on Joey Logano. Kind of curious why Busch tried to put the bumper on Schneider after he passed him cleanly 3 wide to try to get the lead back just to pit a lap later. Give Schneider a little bit of damage that he's going to have to repair. Not too effective, but he will have to repair it here. And there we go. Keegan Schneider wins stage 1 at Mid-Ohio. Once again, 15th stage win of the season as he tries to go for his 9th win overall on the year here this evening. Joey Logano 2nd, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 3rd, Ty Dillon 4th, Ryan Newman rounds out the top 5, followed by Eric Almirola. Actually, Logano might have ran out of fuel coming to the checker. I think he did. Either that or he had an issue of some sort, but Stenhouse ends up 2nd, then Newman, then Logano, Almirola 5th, Elliott 6th, Johnson 7th, Ty Dillon might have ran out there late as well. He finishes 8th. Martin Truex Jr. 9th, and Cliff Boyer will round out the top 10. Schneider going to stay out of the pits, and he'll restart from the lead. A lot of these drivers are going to pit, not all of them. We got some other drivers staying out. Free pass to Quinn Houff in 37th. And only driver out of the race is William Byron. We saw him smoking right at about like lap 6 or 7 very early in the race.
Coming to the green, driver. Here it now.
Well, maybe there's the explanation that we had for that happening. Green flag back in the air.
All right, you're clear.
Schneider going to fend off Logano into turn 1 on the restart. Logano going to try a little crossover on the 99, but he'll have the outside into turn 2, so Schneider will have the advantage.
All right, you're clear there.
Got some drivers on older tires to back Schneider up on this restart. Everybody will likely have to pit at some point in stage 2 again, so that's why Schneider stayed out. He'll just have to be one of the first cars to pit, but in case we get another caution, he won't be restarting at 15th like he did to have to get to the lead, taking him all the way till 3 to go. It took him 9 laps to get up there. He doesn't want to have to do that again, especially if we get faster cars up towards the front the next time around. So even on 10-lap pressure tires, it took him till 3 to go on the stage to try and get to the lead, so it definitely took a lot longer than what he expected it to take. Once those tires get older, he'll pit. He'll definitely have enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage and won't have to worry about, super old tires to the point where the car's going to be sliding around too much next time around. And hopefully he'll cycle back through as the leader if he has a fast enough pit stop. Already kind of pulling Logano, 2.5 lead. Yeah, NASCAR 21 will have online lobbies. They've already stated that. Let me pause it for a quick second. I had to get the chat back up there. I gave myself the playoff points. I had to log out of the chat for a second. There we go. Coming for Richard Petty's wins total. There we go. We're going for it. We haven't won in a few races, though, so we'll see. Well, actually, I guess we haven't won in 2 races. It's not like it's been that long. But to break the record, we have to win all but 5 races to the end of the season. So from here on out, it's going to be tough. Considering after this race, we still have 24 races to go after this one. It is not going to be easy. Schneider's just had a sensational race so far. He's kept the car clean. Even with some bold maneuvers, he really hasn't. The only contact he's made with anybody in this race is when Kyle Busch tried to put the bumper to him with 3 to go in the stage in turn 3. I mean, that's the only contact he's had this entire race with anybody. And it wasn't even his fault. It was Kyle running into him. Even on that restart when he went 3 wide on the outside into 1 and went 3 wide for the lead on the outside into 1 as well later into the going. And amazing. I did change the paint scheme up a little bit, by the way. I don't know if any of you guys noticed. All I did was eliminate the colors where the black is on the hood instead of the orange down. The orange is on the back versus the black on the hood. Same thing with the side. Like over the door number, it's the door number itself is black instead of orange, with the orange exterior to it versus a black exterior behind the number. Left front tire down to 31%, about 6 more laps of fuel before Schneider will have to make his second pit stop of the day. His first one was under yellow. He has not had to make a green flag stop in the race, though he did make a practice green flag stop in second round of session qualifying. So we do know the pit road speed limit is 40 miles an hour for the Cup cars here at Mid-Ohio. Schneider's going to stay out one more lap, maybe two. Though he might slide around a little bit more this next lap. He's got about a 2.5 to 3 second lead. Still 15 laps to go in stage 2 yet. Hopefully that rear bumper damage he has doesn't make the car too loose on top of the tires itself as well. Right now he's holding on pretty well though. Definitely has to roll back into the throttle a lot easier in second and third gear, but you're in second gear a lot for the middle portion of this racetrack, as you saw right there. Very rarely you have to jump all the way up to fourth. So you definitely got to be a little easier trying to get back into the throttle. So Schneider is committed to staying out of the pits this time by. He'll pit the following time by. So Schneider will pit this time by. He'll have 13 laps to go in the stage when he comes off the pit lane. We might have some guys try to stretch it on fuel. That is very well possible that somebody might try to stretch it all the way to the end of stage 2. Had some drivers try to do that. Granted, they had a caution thrown in there, but remember, we did have caution laps with the stage break at least this time around as well. We had 4 laps under the yellow for that caution instead of 3 earlier as well. A little bit of an extended yellow. Slides the tires into turn 3 quite a bit. This goes to show how his tires are getting old. He's still pushing hard into the braking zone, just getting back in the gas. He's letting up a little bit. Under 21% on the left front. Still going to have to be a little bit careful though. It's less than a half a lap away from pitting. He doesn't have to really push it too much further, just a few more corners. Definitely hanging on to his car a lot better on older tires today than what he was at Canadian Tire last night. Oh man, a little wide trying to get to the entrance to pit road up here. 40 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. There he goes. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. Not going to repair that little bit of damage right now. Actually, he will. Why not? Not going to hurt anything. It doesn't look like it's even going to take an extra second of damage to repair it. So might as well repair it. There we go. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. That pit stop in session qualifying was a 15.8. This might be a tad slower. 16 flat. So about 0.3 of a second, 0.2 of a second slower than what he was back in qualifying. So he works his way off the pit lane. '21st position. Joey Logano now back in the race lead once again. First one on fresh tires with the green flag stop, and he had the track position. So far, this is really working out well for him. Have to get through this traffic quickly though, so that way he can cycle back to the lead. Everything does cycle through. Sends it underneath Corey LaJoie. That probably wasn't the best area to try and make that pass. cross him over a little deeper, some side-by-side action a little further up ahead. It looks like between Alex Bowman and Tyler Reddick as well. Schneider finally made the pass on LaJoy. Schneider dive bombs underneath Harvick in turn 1. Harvick fends him off. Schneider going to cross him over into 2. Bowman, Reddick still side by side. Schneider's going to go 3 wide. A 3 wide pass into turn 2 to get around Reddick and Bowman. Not the first time we've seen 3 wide out of Schneider today. He's done that quite a bit, but he has gotten it to stick. He hasn't made any contact doing it. Just a very good job all day long. Not wanting to waste time. He's got a fast car. Qualified on the pole for a reason. Now he's side by side with Kurt Busch for a little bit here. Muscles his way around Kurt Busch. Took him about 3 corners to make that pass. Ohio, a very tight road course. Really only about 2 or 3 good passing zones on this racetrack. Though you wouldn't think that, considering the passes Schneider's made today. This again goes to show how comfortable he is here. And just with road courses in general that he's making these moves. Mid-Ohio's got a weird track map. F1 at Mid-Ohio. They don't have the infrastructure. They're close to Columbus, Ohio, but like the racetrack itself though, like there is not a lot of seating here. Like I sat turn 1 on a hill. And when I come here for an IndyCar show at some point, because I do want to, how close it is, I'll remember to bring some lawn chairs next time. So I didn't have any. I pretty much stood the whole race. I don't think I even sat down. I just stood at the bottom of the hill near the fencing the whole time. Sat turn 1. Oh man, just sideways, getting back to the gas off the curb, and he failed to make the pass on Jimmy Johnson that time. Trying to power his way around the 48. Johnson fins him off again. He caught in that dirty air bubble. Sends it in on Johnson. A little bump. Just a slight tap to the right rear, moving him up out of the way and saying, hey, I gotta go. I'm on fresher tires. I got a much faster car. You're holding me up.
All right, time to go. Keep it nice and smooth.
Nothing major there. Sends it into turn 1 under Truex. Couldn't quite make the pass. Truex beat him back to the gas. And they're going to try to cross him over to the inside into turn 2, and he'll get around him there. Able to break way later on those fresher tires. Makes the pass for 13. IndyCar. That's a little too narrow for IndyCar. There will not be a lot of passing there. The only reason there is with NASCAR, it's just because of how much the cars slide, but IndyCars have a lot more downforce, so it just wouldn't work out well, especially if they're older surface. Trying to get that draft of Austin Dillon. Drives it really deep into turn 3, really closing the gap on Austin. another pass on him. Side by side. Still side by side. Nope, Austin holds him off. For another corner at least. Schneider again. Charging right back after Dylan. Makes the pass. For 12th place. Remember, pit road closes with 2 laps to go in the stage. Logano's still in the lead. I would have to assume Stenhouse is still in 3rd. Maybe Denny Hamlin. Got 8 laps to go still in stage number 2. Kiki Schneider, the best driver of the era. In this career mode, heck yeah. Why we got 8 wins this season. Two of them on road courses. Gutted out 5th place finish last night at Canadian Tire, but he wants redemption. He didn't have to wait long to get redemption on another road course here today. We had 1 caution for incident so far in the race tonight. It was on lap number 11. Way back at the beginning of the race. Lap 10, actually. Back at stage 1. They're in the draft of Ryan Preece down the longest straightaway of the racetrack. How fast these Cup cars go into turn 3, especially in a draft like Schneider was. 178 miles an hour before getting onto the brakes, and he didn't really drive it in deep into that corner either. He could have drove it in deeper, decided not to. Didn't feel he was close enough to really make a pass in that corner on Ryan Preece. 2 corners later, he makes the pass. They cleared him really quickly, all things considered. Just muscled his way right around Ryan Preece in a very quick manner. Seems like it's taken him a couple corners to get around a lot of these drivers. Not that time. It took him 1 turn to get around Preece there. Schneider all over Clint Boyer. Oh, contact with Boyer. Schneider on the outside into turn 1. Clears him on corner entry. He's back inside the top 10 before any of the lead lap cars have pit. Laney all the way back to 9th after qualifying 4th. Still having a good day. He's been in the top 10 all day long. Keeping decent track position at least. Had it really hard into turn 3. Definitely tried to break as late as he could there. He almost broke too late. That was close. He's kept the car on the track all day long as well. For this being a new course for the Cup Series, that is very impressive. No practice, only session qualifying to go off of as well. Laney caught behind the lap car of Bubba Wallace now. Schneider trying to go underneath, 3 wide. Oh, what a tight move that was, but he was able to go 3 wide and make that quick pass on Blaney for 9th place. Blaney does clear Wallace in the next corner. 5 laps to go in stage 2. We'll see if the likes of Logano and every one of these other 8 cars in front of Schneider can make it on fuel to the end of stage 2. It's definitely going to be close. Sighting on the The fact that they won't make it, if they don't pit before 2 to go, they're going to try to push it. So Logano and Ty Dillon tried to push it last stage. Now they're going to try to push it this stage. It's a quick pass into turn 3 in the lap car of Chad Fincham. Eric Almirola in 7th, Chase Elliott in 8th right up here. Side-by-side lap traffic in front of Almirola. That's going to allow Chase Elliott to get alongside the 10 car now. Schneider almost went wide in that final corner trying to get around the outside of Elliott. Failed to attempt at a pass there. Dives it hard down to the bottom into turn 1. Trying to get a draft off the 10. Ty Dillon also in position here. Schneider sends it 3 wide into turn number 3. Passes 3 cars actually for position, and 1 lap car in there, and he's up to 4th. Still about 18 seconds off the lead. Considering that Logano hasn't pit yet, that's pretty impressive. Now he only needs the top 3 to pit before the end of the stage. At least he's still going to score a decent amount of stage points out of the way, but for the regular season championship side of things, that's going to be good.
Left side.
Definitely seems like he's passing the lap cars a lot quicker this time around than what he was when he was leading. Granted, he is not in the lead, so he's trying to get around him quicker. Versus when he had about a more than 6-second lead, he was able to kind of take his time just a little bit, at least getting around those guys. 3 laps to go at stage 2. Guys are all still out on the racetrack. Run races as Quinn Houff at NASCAR 21. We have to run as him. We're going to have to. We're going to want to win that championship. If there's actual like driver ratings, like in a championship mode in that game, that's it's going to kind of stink if we end up having to run as a backlog. You guys will make it tough on me if I have to do that. That's for sure. Got a couple of cool paint schemes though, I will say. That throwback scheme he ran earlier this year, pretty solid. RCA car. Well, Logano's staying out. 2 to go in the stage for Joey Logano. He's really trying to back. Oh, Stenhouse hit the pits. So Stenhouse hit, so did Ryan Newman right before pit road closed, but Joey Logano, now that pit road is closed, has stayed out. He's committed. He's got a 12-second lead. Schneider was 6 seconds faster that last lap. So Logano's really backed that pace up quite a bit, trying to make it on fuel to see if he can get a stage win here tonight. That'd be the 2nd straight race Logano will win a stage in. He won stage 1 at Canadian Tire yesterday. Schneider's pushing harder. He knows Logano's likely trying to save. Got the 16 car, Justin Haley, in his way, though. Well, this is costly for Schneider. Costing him a lot of time trying to get around Haley. Less than 10 seconds behind Logano. Finally gets around Bobby Carter. He tries to run down the 22. Final lap of stage 2. Can Joey Logano make it on fuel to get his second stage win of the season in as many races. Lead down to 8 seconds. Backing that pace up quite a bit down this long straightaway into turn 3. Or turn 2, rather. I would expect that he is likely going to do that into turn 3 as well. He's trying to get a draft off the 20 of Eric Jones. He's doing everything he can. He's quite a ways back. But he knows Logano's going to save every last little drop. Schneider really pushing this car hard. So just like Ryan Newman in stage 2 last night, getting the fuel mileage to win the stage over Logano. It's Logano. It looks like he'll get the fuel. Oh, he might be out of gas. Oh, Logano's out of fuel. With 2 corners to go, he's shaking around. He has to pit. Logano out of gas, and Schneider will come off the final turn to win stage 2 at Mid-Ohio.
Good job.
Oh my goodness, he was so slow in those final 2 corners getting in that second to last turn. He was very slow and had to limp the car to pit road. Just ran out of gas a couple corners shy of winning the stage, and Keegan Schneider will steal the stage 2 victory for his 16th stage win of the season. Unbelievable. Schneider had pretty old tires to the end of the stage as well, pushing as hard as he was on them. But he is going to pit. Final stage about to begin here at Mid-Ohio. Going to be the 3rd set of tires going on the race car right now. Still giving him 5 sets left to the finish. And some split strategy again. Some drivers staying out, some drivers pitting. Ross Chastain in 26 will get the free pass this time. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream. Schneider will restart in 12th. Top 10 cars stay out of the pits. They all pitted right before the end of the stage, except for Logano, who ran out of fuel at the end of the stage. For some reason, he'll keep the lead, or get back to the lead. Schneider going to go 3 wide on the outside here. Oh no, he got in the back of Newman. That just launched Newman past Boyer and Brees. I think Newman's all right with that. Schneider trying to go 3 wide. Under Priest and Newman, hugging that curbing all the way through turn 2. Ty Dillon, rather. Schneider clears Newman onto the long straight for 4th. 8 spots gained in the opening 3 turns. And it's Almirola trying to go after Logano for the lead. Moving hard onto the brakes, trying to get back up to Schneider. Schneider sends it in on Blaney. Didn't want to waste any time there. Problem is, if he fails to make the pass, Newman's going to be there for the taking. Oh, contact! Quite a bit of contact between the 12 and the 99. Schneider sends it off into turn 1. Clear, Blaney crosses him back over. Oh, Schneider forces himself back in on the 6 of Newman. And sends it into turn 2 to get back around the 12 again. Seen some clean racing out of Schneider the first 2 stages, but it is awfully aggressive to start this final stage. He doesn't have a tire advantage on the 22 and the 10 this time either, and now we have a caution further back in the pack, likely either getting into turn 3 or getting in the middle of turn 2 is likely where the caution was for. Eric Jones will get the free pass in 27th. Kenseth and Byron are the only 2 drivers. Kenseth, Byron, and Buescher are the 3 drivers out of the race so far. We'll see if anybody else exited there. And the only driver that is going to hit pit road is going to be a couple lap cars that are 1 and 2 laps down. So all the lead lap cars going to stay out, keep their track position. That'll help Schneider get bunched back up with Logano and Almirola again. It's our second caution for incident today. In the first 3 road course races this season in the Cup Series, we have had only 2 cautions for incident. So will this be the final restart with just 34 laps to go here at Mid-Ohio? At least 1, if not 2 pit stops yet to go to the finish. Green flag is in the air at Mid-Ohio. It'll be Joey Logano leading the field to the green again. Schneider going to go 3 wide to the inside into turn 1. Sends it into the corner. Clear off the exit. Didn't want to waste any time as they're still side by side for second between the 10 and the 22. Blaney right behind both of them. Logano in the center of the corner fends Almirola off. Schneider barely keeps the car on the racetrack. Pushing hard through those first 2 turns off the restart. We'll back up turn 3 a little bit better as he had a great exit to turn 2 that he was able to kind of pull Logano down that long straightaway. Couldn't get the drive off he needed because he was side by side with the 10 going into turn 2. He was able to clear him off the exit though, and Blaney's still back and forth. Newman still in 5th. Only driver who is in the top 5 that did not qualify in the top 5 today would be Joey Logano, who was in 2nd. Stenhouse would have been the other driver that qualified in the top 5. He qualified 3rd today. Schneider's pulled off to about a 3-second lead after that restart, taking the 3-wide dive bomb move into turn 1 on the inside to go from 3rd to 1st on the restart initially. That was a move A.J. Allmendinger used at Mid-Ohio earlier in real life this season to pull off the win at this racetrack in the Xfinity Series. Will this be the final restart for the Cup guys? I mentioned the only other road courses we've ran this season only had 2 cautions for incident in each of the 3. We've had 2 already today at Mid-Ohio. I would not be surprised if that was the last restart. We still have a couple pit stops yet to get through as well. Definitely a lot could happen still, that is for sure. 31 to go. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the next dozen laps once again. Here today at Mid-Ohio. About a 5-second lead right now for Schneider over Joey Logano. Almirola trying to keep that top 4 streak alive on the road course races this season. Through the first 3 races, he's the only driver to finish in the top 4 in every single one of those races. Only him and Schneider are the only 2 drivers to finish inside the top 5 in all 3 road course races this year. Trying to go 4 for 4 here tonight. Our next race on the schedule will be at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for a 400-mile, 267-lap race in the daytime at Las Vegas for the Pennzoil 400. It will only be our 3rd mile-and-a-half race of the season. That is the only kind of track Schneider has not been able to win at. All of the tracks we have raced at so far this season are the type of tracks. Finished 3rd and 13th in the only other 2 mile-and-a-half races so far this year. The 13th in the most recent mile-and-a-half race at Chicagoland, and very early in the season at Kansas in the 3rd race of the year. He ended up finishing 3rd. A very tight finish that was. Kyle Busch got the win that day. DiBenedetto won at Chicagoland. Still growing that lead out to 6 seconds now on Logano. Logano only 2 seconds ahead of Almirola still. Still pretty tight back there for 2nd place, all things considered. Ryan Newman has jumped up to 4th. Austin Dillon now inside the top 5 and up to 5th place. Ryan Blaney's dropped out of the top 5 here over the last couple laps. Definitely been the most calmer part of the race so far, but if we get into this pit strategy, some drivers will be able to make it on 1 stop, and I don't think everybody will be able to. It might be a 2-stop race for a lot of these drivers yet to the very finish. Especially those that pitted before the end of the stage and then stayed out. It's the drivers who I'm mostly talking about right now. And really wanting to extend this lead. He needs to push these tires as far as he can, which he has not really done today. He's going to have to if he's going to want his best shot at trying to win this race. this would be a big win in his career. He's had a lot of them already with 4 wins in Crown Jewel events. Winning a Brickyard 400 this season, a Daytona 500 this season. Last season winning the Coke 600 and another Daytona 500. Kind of slowly inching away from Almirola finally. Blaney back inside the top 5. Ryan Newman no longer in the top 5, and Austin Dillon's up to 4th place. Great showing for Dillon on a road course. Not used to seeing it. Brother Ty Dillon's got a couple top 10s this year on road courses. In fact, a top 5 on the one so far on this season. Thinking correctly, we only have one more road course left in the regular season. That would be at Road America. We still have 3 more left total, 2 of them in the playoffs, Watkins Glen and then the Charlotte Roval. Both be coming up in the playoffs. Nine more laps, Schneider can go on fuel. He knows he can make it on fuel on one more stop. He's one of the drivers that can, without a doubt. Barring a caution at a weird point. Maybe putting these guys on the limit. Make this a fuel mileage race for everybody, instead of just a few drivers in the field. A lot of lap traffic coming up here by the end of this lap for Schneider. It'll be the first time lap traffic will become a factor in the final stage. It was a factor in each of the first 2 stages so far. As far as drivers trying to make their way through that were on the lead lap. Sends it. It's around Bubba Wallace in just one corner. Schneider just sent it on Chad Fincham that corner as well. Fincham crossed him over for a brief moment, but Schneider's got a much more superior car than the 49. That's why he was able to pull that move off and make it look pretty easy for the most part. Eric Keselowski back at 35th today, already a couple laps down, about to go a 3rd lap down. That's insane. You know, he doesn't run particularly well on road courses, but 35th is a new low for Keselowski. on running speed. He's got some Rick Ware cars out running him today. Underneath Clint Half. Looked like Half was trying to set up for maybe a pass on John Hunter Nemechek. So Schneider got pinched off a little bit. He'll still get around Half right there, though. All over the back of the 38 car now. Sends it into the next corner to try and make the pass on John Hunter Nemechek, and he does. Nice clean pass on Nemechek. Now Half can try to go back after the 38 once again. Take a look at the tire wear on the upper left-hand corner of the screen right now, down to 32% on the left front. A couple more percentage ticks down. This car's going to be sliding around quite a bit more on older tires. Schneider's just going to have to manage it pretty well here. If he wants to make it on one more stop, he's going to have to take this run as long as he possibly can. The reason why he was pushing the car as hard as he has since the restart to try and get to the lead as quick as he did on that opening lap of the restart on Almirola and Logano for this situation to try and widen the gap. And obviously, again, widening that gap out gives him some time if he does try to maybe save his tires late in the run and give up some of that lead, that he'll be all right. Not going to really sacrifice too much, all things considered. Justin Healy made the pass on him. Outside of Bobby Carter. Looks like Carter's just going to let Schneider go. Schneider gets turn one all for himself. Down to 28% on the left front. Lead is up to 14.5 seconds over Logano. 18.5 to 19 seconds back to third place Eric Almirola. As far as the threats to win, if this race does stay green to the end, it's likely to go 3. 15.5 second lead now on the 22 car. Hasn't really backed that pace up intentionally yet, despite these tires wearing out quite a bit. 21 laps to go. Pit window is open to make it to the end on fuel from now. With a 15.5 second lead, he's not in any hurry to pit. He's got about 3 more laps he can go on fuel, so he's going to push it that far. Maybe even 4 laps on fuel. Assuming that left front will hold up long enough, that's less laps he has to run to the end of this race. A lot easier into the braking zones on these harder braking zones like turns 2 and 3. Right there into turn 3. Trying to put Ross Chastain a lap down once again. Nice clean pass on him. A lot harder to pass these lap cars cleanly as well when the tires are wearing out like they are. Really light right there. He didn't want to drop it to second gear. Now he does. if there's any signs of anybody else pitting yet. Wonder if guys inside the top 5 and top 10 might try to short pit. I have to assume those guys that probably can't make it as far are going to pit either this time or next time by. I don't notice anybody else on that strategy that has hit pit road quite yet under green.
Still there?
He drifts his way right around 20 of Eric Jones. Knocked up that left front tire a little bit, but not bad. Whew. Big slide back and forth. He gathered it about as quickly as he could have, then drops it to second. After he rolls through the corner that time, it'll carry him a lot of speed into this next corner still. Sliding into that braking zone.
Right side.
Jones starting to paddle back on the 99.
Gotta take care of the tires.
There, Jones trying to get back on the lead lap here. 19 laps to go at Mid-Ohio.
Getting low on gas, getting low on gas. You're running on fumes out there.
They're definitely getting pretty low on gas. And all over that curving in turn 2. Car fishtailing around everywhere. He keeps it on the track, though. That's the big thing. Still about an 18-second lead over Joey Logano, who's only really gained a half a second to a second on Schneider.
You're gonna blow a tire soon.
Jones coming in hot.
Left side.
Schneider's just going to give up the spot to Jones. He's going to let Jones get back on the lead lap. He's not worried about
You
him.
gotta come and pit for gas.
He's trying to nurse it because he wants this car to keep in control. He doesn't want to spin out like he did at Canadian Tire and cost himself a shot at the win. Especially with a massive lead here at Mid-Ohio. When he had the lead at Canadian Tire, when he did that, he only had about a 2.5 second lead. Schneider wants to take it one more lap on fuel. He's going to try to stretch it. One less lap he'll have to run on the back end of it.
Watch those tires.
That right front's almost down to 30% on the tire wear now as well. We'll go back to the normal camera to the end of the race. 18 laps to go. Definitely getting down to crunch time. Big hop off the curb. That left front tire down to 9%. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to make it back around for one more lap. Logano stayed out of the pits that last lap as well. Schneider kind of just intentionally running behind the 20 of Eric Jones now. It looks like he's going to pass him down this long straightaway again. But if Jones starts to put the pressure back on Schneider again, I'd have to think Schneider's going to let him go.
Bringing out pit road here. We're almost out of fuel. That car ahead of you is pitting.
So Schneider is committed to pitting this time by.
Go easy on the tires.
4-tire stop, 40 miles per hour again is the pit road speed limit. Easily gets down in time. 2 seconds of damage. That will be repaired. Look at the 17. It looks like he's crashed on pit road. That was strange. He was cockeyed in his pit box. It looked like he was up against the wall. Kevin Harvey coming out of his pit box. A little check up there for Schneider. An 18-second lead coming into the pit zone. Should be good on fuel to the end. Some guys are going to be a lot closer than others, that is for sure. And he survived on the old tires. Now he's just going to have to do it for the final couple laps of the race as well. So push hard to try and get a bigger lead once again. Assuming Logano's going to cut some of that time out. Eric Jones came in right behind Schneider, and he leaves right behind him as well. Logano came in to pit the same lap Schneider did. He didn't want to lose any extra time to the 99. Schneider's about 9 seconds ahead of Eric Almirola. Maybe 10 seconds now that Almirola is probably still getting up to speed. The lead has definitely closed a little bit. Almirola, I would have to assume, has pit already. Unless he spun out, I don't know. I'd assume he's already pit, considering he's 11.5 seconds back. The thing is, though, is how did he gain that much time and Joey Logano fall outside the top 5? So I don't think that Hamlin, Austin Dillon, or Blaney pit. But that's still strange that Almirola pulls in that much more than Logano. Logano must have had a really bad pit stop with his crew. It's the only thing I can really think of that might have cost the 22 a lot of time on pit road there, rather than on the racetrack itself. It's definitely the money stop, though. Hamlin's kind of come out of nowhere to get up to third, though, as well. If he, I mean, he was running in the top 5 very early in the race, but definitely wasn't up there before the green flag pit stops. Schneider makes a pass on DiBenedetto. Put him the lap down. Cole Custer in 22nd up here. All over Custer. Makes the pass cleanly, no contact through those finishing 2 corners. 15 laps to go at Mid-Ohio. Schneider just hoping it plays green to the end, and I think he's got this race won. And Almirola is going to come so close to another road course win this season and not get it. His pit crew had his back tonight. Almirola just couldn't keep up with the 99 up to this point. Again, we could get another caution. That is not impossible. Restarts have been wild, as they usually are in NASCAR, but no exception here tonight at Mid-Ohio from what we've seen after the stage breaks and then the 2 caution sprints that we've had as well. The only way these guys are going to be a little bit closer on maybe not making it on fuel is if this race goes to overtime, which we have not had an overtime finish yet this season. We've had some late race yellows in a few races, but no races have gone past the scheduled distance so far this season either. We had 8 overtime finishes last year, none for the first 11 races so far this year, so definitely not on pace to be doing that again. We had 5 of them in the last 12 races last season as well, but just got into the playoffs and everything was kind of more dramatized, I guess you would say, later into the regular season as well. We're trying to sneak underneath Christopher Bell. backed up the corner prior so he can drive it in a little deeper. Get underneath Bell and make the pass through those finishing 2 corners. Same spot he got around Custer a few laps ago to put him a lap down. Busch, last car in the lead lap. I think David Reagan might be on the lead lap as well. It's tough to tell. He is in 19th. Side drafts Kurt Busch had a good run in the draft on him. He's easily a lap down well before getting into turn 3.
Right side.
They're trying to outbreak the 99 and the 36. Able to do so. Schneider sends it in though on David Reagan in the next couple corners and makes a clean pass on him. Just 18 cars on the lead lap. Back out to about a 17-second lead again. Quinn Half is a ghost car for some reason. Not sure why. 34th position. What is up with the 17 car? He was sideways on pit road before, but he's even more sideways now. And I wonder if the 00 might have hit him in the pits. And maybe that's why Quinn Half is in a ghost car right now. Trying to run phased as he blows right by him in turn 1.
Still there. Clear left.
Although we have only had 2 cautions per incident each road course race this year, we've already had 2 per incident today. Let's remember that last caution at Canadian Tire last night came with 7 laps to go. Set up a restart with 4 laps left in the race. We saw Ricky Stenhouse Jr. who restarted second, getting around Almirola to get to the lead on the restart. And that'd be Almirola today being in second place where his lead, or I should say where Schneider's lead gets wiped away, much like Almirola's did last night. And Almirola's in prime position to capitalize on how he lost the race exactly on the road course last night, a new road course at that. There are some similarities there. 11 laps to go. Sends it into turn 1, quickly gets around Chad Fincham as well. Those guys already a couple laps down. Corey LaJoy in 17th having a great run. That Go Fast racing machine. Especially for being a road course. Halloween is approaching, yes. Schneider so late braking into turn 3, but he got it to stick. Quick pass on Keselowski. I don't think he's made a pass in that corner all day long. Hasn't really been able to make it to the inside into that corner on another car, lap car or not, but made the quick pass on Keselowski. Corey LaJoy trying to stay on the lead lap here. And I don't think he's going to have any choice. Schneider gets alongside of him, clears him into the next corner. Now just 16 cars on the lead lap.
I need 10 solid laps. Concentrate.
10 to go. Ten laps left here in Mid-Ohio. Schneider's already won both stages. Barely won stage 2 though. Logano tried to make it on fuel all the way through the stage. He ran out with just a couple corners to go, and Schneider caught him at the last second to win the stage. As of right now, these guys are good on fuel. But again, if we go to overtime, Might have some drivers trying to save fuel under the yellow and stretch it. Some guys are probably going to have to pit. BJ McLeod with another top 10 run going for him right now. Top 15, not top 10. Trying to get around a slower car who's already a couple laps down to John Hunter Nemechek.
Still there.
Schneider on the outside of McLeod. Barely hanging onto the car. Barely keeping her on the racetrack, using all the curving necessary. Using the lap car as a pick to get around BJ to put him a lap down. And just 14 drivers on the lead lap. Schneider's about a lap and a half to the good on fuel. So that is why if we go past the scheduled distance, I don't know if these guys are going to make it. Lap and a half is definitely pushing it. Well, Schneider just wants to get to the white flag as soon as he possibly can as well. Truex on the outside in turn 2. Schneider going to go even higher. Truex failed to get around, but look at that cross. Inside, outside to get around those lap cars. Now Truex is a lap down. Johnson, last car now on the lead lap. Not for long with him being stuck behind Bobby Carter. He's got a good run into turn 1 using Bobby Carter as a pick. Carter's got a little bit of damage on that 73 car as well. Crosses back over on the 99, been running deep into the corner, couldn't get back to the gas as soon, but still slung the car out wide. Johnson now lap down, leaving just 12 cars in the lead lap. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has clawed himself back for the top 5, passing Ryan Newman for the 5th place position. Stenhouse trying to go for back-to-back top 5s as well after getting the win at Canadian Tire last night. I believe his teammate Ryan Preece is still in the race and in the top 10 as well. Still finished 1-2 race last night. It was on a late race restart that gave Stenhouse the win. 30.5 second lead for Schneider. Look at 31 seconds. Almirola is 13 seconds ahead of Denny Hamlin right now in second. The real battle looks like it's for 4th as Stenhouse has just passed Ryan Blaney now for 4th place. So he'd be within the first 2 rows if we get a late race restart. For Stenhouse to maybe even go back-to-back on road courses nonetheless. Who would have thought that was going to happen this season? Only part of the schedule where we have back-to-back road course races as well. 6 laps to go. Left front tire down to 34% right now for Schneider. Well, 5 laps to go this time by.
5 to go, 5 to go.
A lot of other cars up to maybe being put a lap down here shortly as well. Tyler Reddick's also a ghost car. It's the second one we've seen today, along with Quinn Howe. 28% on that left front tire with 5 laps to go as well. He's going to be lacking a little bit of grip here. I think already a couple laps down as well. Chase Elliott's a ghost car. Why is there so many ghost cars? That's the third one. Chase is on the lead lap too. Schneider will lose off the curbing. And those tires are pretty old at this point to run.
Still there. Clear left.
Warrior under Chastain.
Stay right, please.
Schneider got into the back of the 14 a little bit right there. Gets to his outside now. 4 laps to go.
You're clear then.
There's Priest in 11th. Michael McDowell's a ghost car too. What is... You got 4 ghost cars on the racetrack, and I don't know why. That's really strange.
Stay left.
Schneider on the outside of Priest. McDowell's a lap down as well.
Clear to the right.
Just 10 cars on the lead lap.
You got room. You're clear.
Catching Chase Elliott. Schneider on extremely worn out tires. Down to 21% now on that left front tire. Now down to 18%, 3 laps to go. It's definitely going to make it to the end. Schneider slides completely into turn 1.
Left side.
Elliott crosses him back over to get back on the lead lap. Somebody was on pit road there. Elliott passed for 9th. I mentioned some drivers might not be able to make it on fuel. Somebody just pit. We stay green. Elliott continues to fend Schneider off. Two laps to go.
We're gonna need those
At the start-finish line this time by, drifting off that final corner.
next time.
Left front went down 5% that last lap. That pace, it'll still make it. Oh, big wheel hop into turn 1 that time. For Schneider, again, keeps it on the racetrack. Never even hit the curbing that time either. 42.5 seconds right now to Eric Almirola. She's got a massive, massive lead as Elliott's slowly starting to pull away from Schneider.
Watch those tires. Gonna blow a tire soon.
Schneider's going to get to the white flag. One lap to go here at Mid-Ohio. Domination of the final stage. Leading all but the first 5 laps of the final stage. A 41.5 second lead over second place Eric Almirola. A pretty decent pit stop by his pit crew as well to put him back into this position again. Only 9 drivers are on the lead lap. Some of them still trying to stretch it on fuel. We know Schneider's about a lap and a half to 2 laps to the good. It's going to be his 9th win of the season, giving him now 14 career wins and still less than a season and a half into his NASCAR Cup Series career. He already swept the stages today as well, winning his 15th and 16th stages of the season. Last lap passed to win stage 2, and it passed with 3 to go to win stage 1. Dominant season continues. Keegan Schneider is now won in his home state. Keegan Schneider wins on another road course at Mid-Ohio.
Checkered flag is in the air. It's yours.
Home state victory for the hometown kid. Another monumental win in his young NASCAR career. Unbelievable. Burnout there right in front of the home stretch fans. Now going down to where I sat at Mid-Ohio in the Xfinity race earlier this season, right here, down to turn 1. Oh, there's no fans up there. There's campers. That's not accurate. Okay, so there were no campers up here when I was here the first time. There were no tents. Okay, the only thing that was up here was a bunch of people on this hill. All right, I was one of those people. I was actually down by the guardrail just behind the sand over here. But, so that way I could see, like, turn 3 in that big long straightaway as well. But anyway, there were no campers. That is not accurate on NASCAR Heat 5's sense. But anyway, see the burnout down on this end of the racetrack now. Gatorade must be really happy that they pulled on sponsorship for this season. To sponsor us for this final ride on the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, because it has been a while. Well, this might be the best burnout of the season so far. It's in the front stairs. Look at all the smoke here in turn 1. It's incredible. Look at all of it inside the cockpit as well. I mean, you can't see it when you go to the cockpit cam, but that engine is still cranking. And nosed it into the guardrail. Oh, it's killed now, yeah. It's smoking. I mean, it's still got a little bit of thunder just to make it back to pit road, but that's about it. What a burnout, what a race, and what a victory for Keegan Schneider's 9th of the season. 9 drivers finished on the lead lap here today. Both stages won as well, again for the 99. Eric Almirola, for the 3rd time in the first 4 races this season, has finished 2nd on a road course. Still the only driver to finish in the top 4 on all 4 road course races this season. Schneider, top 5 in all of them with 3 wins and a 5th last night at Canadian Tire. Brian Blaney comes back to finish 3rd. Austin Dillon with a great run at 4th. Logano fell back to 5th there at the end of the race. Alex Bowman 6th. Ty Dillon with a top 10 again in 7th. Denny Hamlin 8th. Chase Elliott, last on the lead lap, finishes 9th. And Ryan Preece with another top 10 on the road course this season as well, rounding out the top 10, first car 1 lap down. We did have a few DNFs here today. Only 2 cautions per incident for the 4th time already this season. We've only had 2 cautions per incident in a race, and they were all on the 4 road courses. William Byron, Matt Kenseth, Chris Buescher, and Kyle Busch all DNF in today's race. We have 4 ghost cars at the end of it too. And there is the regular season point standings. These are all up to date and accurate because we have not DNF'd yet this season. Oh wow, Blaney Took a big bounce off the curb and got T-boned by Newman earlier in the race. I didn't see that at all. Must have been well after a restart. I know they were battling for position midway in the final stage for about fifth. Maybe that's how they were going back and forth. Anyway, there again is the top 10 of the point standings. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 13th. That's a great season for both the JTG cars. Look at that. 13th, 14th in points. BJ McLeod, 15th. Keselowski, last driver in right now on points by 8 over Clint Boyer. Bowman's out right now. Byron's 22nd. Jimmy Johnson back to 25th. He made the playoffs last season with a win. Austin Dillon, 26. I mean, this is just not good for some of these drivers. Joey Gase rounded. Jeez, Joey Gase only has 56 points. I mean, even Bobby Carter's 35 points ahead of Joey Gase. That's just insane. Orville Halls is 37th. Yikes. Chris Buescher, 33rd. There's some upsetters in points right now. Matt DiBenedetto in the top 10. Ryan Newman, 4th. Newman made the championship 4 last season. Again, another win here for Keegan Schneider this season. There he is in victory lane at his home racetrack. A well-deserved win, to say the least. Awesome stuff. A 1:19.733 was the fastest lap of the race. Not quite as fast as what we ran in qualifying, but pretty close. Our qualifying lap for our pull time was a 1:20.777. Actually, wait, that was 1:19? Hang on. Wow. Okay, never mind. It was a full second faster than what we were in qualifying. That's insane. 1:19.733. 60 of the 85 laps today for Schneider in winning both stages in the race as well. That is going to wrap it up here tonight on the channel. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Not sure what we're going to race yet, if it is going to be the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode at Las Vegas, or if it is going to be a NASCAR Busch Series race at Indianapolis Raceway Park on NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. Either way, we will be racing with a full race live stream with a NASCAR video game. It just depends what time I get home, because I do have to work tomorrow and Wednesday as well. So just be on the lookout for that one. Like, share, and subscribe. Again, as I just mentioned, have a good rest of your Monday night, and I'll see you tomorrow.